Now the shelter is finally complete. It took me about 2.5 hours to build, and I thought I would go through it, how it's built up and what it does. This is called a log shelter. I named it that because it's made up out of logs, as you can see here. In this case, spruce logs, dry old one. As you can see in this area, they are very accessible and easy to find. So they are good material for this type of shelter. What I first started to do was to put out 2 cross beams. One there and one at the other side that goes up under the logs. Because of that tree that's lying there, it was my starting point, so I continue from that. What I then did was to make 2 poles that I smashed into the ground here, as you can see. These 2 poles' jobs is to hold back the logs here so they don't roll off. But I actually got them pretty firm here, this log, so they are pretty steady without this, but this is just extra to strengthen the shelter up. Then what I did was to chop up 12 logs that is about a hand in diameter and 1.5 meter long, and that is about 5.5 foot long. I will lie them down on these bottom beams here, as you can see. The base of the shelter is a little bit like a jigsaw. You have to shape in these logs, cut off the notches and where the branches have been, so you can fit them with each other. See, one of the beams here that hold up the shelter, it goes up there, and then I made a little wall here to give me a little more protection towards the wind and everything. What I then did was to put moss, ordinary green moss, here in the cracks and notches here between the logs. And the thing about this green moss is that it takes so long time for the water to penetrate the moss that if you're gonna stay in this shelter just for a couple of days or so, you'll be fine. So that's the roof. It's now pretty much water, I will not say waterproof, but very water resistant, as you can see here. And I'm pretty happy with the shelter. Here's the back. As you can see, it's pretty strong. Walking on it right now. It looks like a little mine shaft and my little mine entrance, probably say. And here's the inside of the shelter. It's pretty roomy. It's much more space than you see on the camera. So you see here, from the bottom, you will see the moss in between there. And I'm pretty happy with this shelter. Turned out pretty good, I think. But it took a lot of hard work, chopping those logs, splitting those logs and chopping them apart.